In this video, we'll see how we can launch an EC2 instance and connect to it from Windows using putty. So I have already written an article. If you prefer that, I'll give a link to it in the description. So first, let's go to our EC2 console. In our AWS console, just search for EC2 and click on EC2. Or you can just right click here and open a new tab. It will open directly the EC2 console. So from here, click on launch instances. I'll be launching a Ubuntu instance. It is your preference. The OS is your preference. Generally prefer the free tier eligible ones, but if you want to try out, you can launch Windows instances and also Mac instances. So I'm launching Ubuntu. Select. Here you can configure the instance size, like how many vCPUs and the memory. I'll go with the free tier eligible t2.micro. Next, configure instance details. Here you can just configure how many instances you want, and the network and subnet you can configure them here. So I don't need to change anything. Next, add storage. Here what type of storage you want and what is the size of the storage you want, you can configure that here. So for just demo purposes, 8 GB is enough for me, and I'm using the general purpose SSD. Next, tags. Tags are for easily identifying your EC2 instances. Not only EC2 instances, but for all AWS related resources, you can just add tags to easily identify them and group them together. So for now, I don't need any use for that. So configure security group. Security group, you can just add the networking rules here. So currently SSH rule is added. Port 22 is open to be connected from the internet. This IP address means all the internet. So we can connect to the instance from any IP address. So if we're using this hosting any web applications, we can just add the HTTP traffic rule or HTTPS rule, or we can just enable all traffic. It is your choice, but for now I'm not going to be using that EC2 instance for anything, just for demo purposes. So the SSH port 22 will be enough. Review and launch. Here you can review the options you have selected and just click on launch. Yes. If you are creating this for the first time, you probably won't have any key pairs here. So select create a new key pair, and I'm going to give the name as demo. Download key pair. Now click on launch instance. So our instance is being launched. To view the status, you can just click on view instances. Here instance state is pending. It should go to running, then our instance has been allocated, we can connect to it. So now let's see how we can create a private key pair. So the file we downloaded is in PEM format, as you can see here. We need it to be in the PPK format to use it with putty. So to do that, first you need to have putty installed. So for that, you can find the website description in the website link in the description. You can just go there and download the 64-bit installer and just double click it and follow the on-screen prompts. It is really easy. Download the complete package, by the way. You need putty gen for changing the key format, right? So you need complete putty package, not just single putty. Yes, as you can see, instance state is in running now. Instance has been allocated. So let me just search for putty gen. Just type the Windows key and just start typing. Now click on load. Here change from private key files to all files. Select the PEM file. Open. We need to save private key command to save it in putty1 format. Just click OK. Now click on save private key. passphrase, we don't have any use for that now. If you want, you can just give the passphrase in this section, so it is like a password. For now I'm clicking yes, and we need to give the name for the new pbk file. So I'm just giving the same name as demo. Just click save. Now as you can see, the pbk file has been generated. Now we can use it to connect to our EC2 instance. So let me just open putty. Hostname or IP address, we can find them in the EC2 dashboard. Public IPv4 DNS. Just copy it, paste, port 22. Yes. Now let's add the key we have generated. In the left hand panel, just click on SSH and then auth. In the auth, we can select the private key file for authentication. Click browse. Select the file we have just generated. Open. Accept it. For Ubuntu, the default login is just Ubuntu. If you have selected Amazon Linux, it is EC2-user. So as you can see, we have connected to our EC2 instance using putty. So after we completed using our instance, if we don't need it anymore, just select it, select the instance we don't need, and just click on instance state and terminate instance. The instance state will change from running to terminated like above here. After it is terminated, we will stop incurring charges. If you need to use the instance again, you can just change the instance state to stop instance. But bear in mind that when instance is stopped, the volume will still incur cost. We will have EC2 volumes, right? The volumes will still incur cost even if the instance is stopped. So that is how you launch an EC2 instance and connect to it from Windows using putty.